So if your fan outside doesn't start, you start the AC, it's because one of the capacitors is burned, probably the run capacitor, the start capacitor. So you have to disconnect this, because that's bring the power. And then in this case you have to remove. Every system is going to have a different protection door to the capacitor. In this case I have these 4 screws to loose and open. When you remove the panel here, everything is explained. There is even a schematic for what it is inside, but you don't really need to do anything. The only parts that you need to replace is this. In this case there are 2 combined, so you have to replace all that. The problem is going to be in the start capacitor inside here. Here there is a run and a start capacitor combined, and if the fan doesn't start, it's because this one doesn't start the motor 100%. It could be the contactor, but 99% of the time is the capacitor. So you just buy a new one on Amazon and you replace it. That's what I'm going to show you how to do it today. And how do you know if it is the capacitor? You can measure. If you know how to use a multimeter, I can show you how to measure. You just disconnect the 3 cables and you can measure if the capacitor is working or not. Or you just buy a new one and you replace it. It's probably cheaper. This one actually looks good. It doesn't look like it's bad, because usually when they're bad they blow up a little bit, they make a bump. But for sure it just burn. This guy is every few years. This one I have it installed for 5 years already, so it's pretty much done. You see the contactor looks really good. Remember obviously to open the power switch from there, because if not you're gonna have power here. And I'm gonna show you how to discharge the capacitor before you touch it, because if you touch it there could be still power and you can hurt yourself. So you have to use a screwdriver and short the terminal to avoid any problems before touching it. Also, how do you recognize? For example, this is how you short it. How do you recognize which one is, like here is not written anymore. Usually it's written fan, harm, and common. Usually this one with 4 is the common. This one with 2 is for the fan, so it's the small one, 5. And this one is for the compressor, HERM, HERM, and that's the 45 or 55. Usually that's what it is. But 99% this is the common, so then the other 2 you can see it. In this case I measure with my multimeter and I don't get any reading, so it means that both the capacitors inside are broken. If I can show you the measurement on a new one. Oop, stay there. Let's see if I can hold it. See, it's gonna take a while, but you see 5 microfarad. That's the fan. And now don't tell me to swap, because I only have one hand. If you swap it to the other one, it's gonna measure 55. This is a 55.5. Okay, so that's telling you that the capacitor works. That one, it doesn't work. This one is a 45.5. The one I have in stock is a 55.5. Let me show you. So I just measured. So is it okay to put a 55.5 in place of a 45.5? So usually everybody will tell you no, because of course everybody's afraid of everything. What I can tell you is that the 55 is the capacity of the compressor, so it means that 55 is higher than 45. That's the one it is using. So it means that my compressor is going to have a higher current that can give to the my capacitor is going to have a higher current that can give to the compressor. So in my knowledge of electrical devices, that's going to be fine. First of all, because it's not too two different, usually 10%. In this case it's like 20%, but it's still okay. Second is that if you have a higher capacity, it's gonna be fine, because I have to get a different wrench because this one doesn't fit. Because if you put a lower one, it's gonna be a problem, because your compressor is not gonna be running at the, it's gonna make the capacitor send all the power it can, all the amps it can, but it's not gonna make it. So the compressor is not gonna run at the maximum capacity, and it's not gonna make cool the air that it needs to cool, and all the system is gonna go, lower capacity, and it's not gonna work. And what you can do accidentally is that the compressor can burn, because it's gonna run forever and it's gonna ever reach his goal to cool the air down. Okay, so you see, I just put the new one, the bigger one, and everything starts. So tomorrow I'm gonna get the correct one and I'm gonna put that one. But now I can tell already that the problem was the capacitor, 100%. Okay, so I got the right one. By the way, I put the bigger one and it was working. Yeah, I showed you, but I just want to put the right one because I don't want to cook the compressor. So now, see, I just put it like that to test it, but now I'm gonna replace that one. Even if this one works, but you know, 55 with a long few hours working, it could be burning a little bit the compressor windings. Right there, connect it again. Remember to plug this bayonet back, because that's gonna cut the power. And so now we need power again. And let's go inside and see what happens.